Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Saturday, May the 6th. We do have two games again on Saturday. We do have an early game in the afternoon, the Heat and Knicks game at Game 3 of that series. That one does start at 3:30 Eastern Time, and then we do have Game 3 of the Lakers and Warriors series, which starts later that night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So we got two games tonight, an early afternoon game, and then we got a night game. So should be a fun slate. I got two props I do like for tonight, guys. I got a play that I like from each game. So we're going to talk through these two plays. We're going to share why I like them. Before we do get started, though, breaking down the plays, if you guys enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you have never checked them out before, you can actually sign up for Prizepicks and use my promo code Noah. If you do look at the bottom of the screen, when you sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So be sure to check them out if you have not yet. And before we do talk through our plays for today, I want to recap our plays from Friday night that we gave out in Friday's video. So we gave out two picks for Friday's slate. And once again, we did hit both of our plays. So been doing really well with these YouTube picks. Our Patreon picks haven't been doing as well, which is something that I definitely want to get fixed. But we've been doing really well with the plays we've been giving out for free over on YouTube. So hopefully you guys have been tailing those. Yesterday, we did take the over on Michael Porter Jr.'s fantasy points. MPJ had a really good game, had a double-double. I think he had like 20 points and 12 rebounds. Went well over his fantasy score line. Definitely felt like that line was a little bit of an overreaction to MPJ only playing like 23 minutes the previous game. Didn't think that was going to happen again. He got back up to like 36 minutes, went well over his fantasy score. And then we took Marcus Smart's over fantasy score, 25.5. And Smart, I think he finished with like 29 fantasy points. Wasn't too much of a sweat. He had a really good first half. Didn't do too much in the second half, but it didn't really matter because he did so well in the first half. I think he had like 22 fantasy points at halftime. Smart went over his fantasy score though, so hopefully you guys did take those two plays. Marcus Smart over fantasy and MPJ over fantasy. Both of those did hit yesterday, so been doing really well with these YouTube plays. I think over our last 16 picks we've given out on YouTube, I think we're 13-3 over our last 16 picks. So these have been doing pretty well. Want to try and get our Patreon picks to do really well as well for all the paying members, but let's try and hit some free plays again for you guys. So I got two picks I do like for this Saturday slate. Got a play that we're going to start off with, a fantasy score prop I do like in this Knicks and Heat game. And I want to talk about Julius Randle's fantasy score. So Julius Randle, his line sits at 37.5. And I just think this line's too low for Julius Randle, especially now that he seems to be fully healthy again. If you look at Julius Randle's recent games, he had a really good game. Last game he played against Miami, 48.4 fantasy points. He really struggled in that Cleveland series. He didn't go over this fantasy score line in a single game in that Cleveland series. But I do want to mention, for one, Randle, he's been dealing with a lot of injuries lately. He did get injured in that game against Cleveland. Can't remember what game in the series that was. I think it was like game 4 or game 5. He did injure his ankle. He was actually having a pretty good game that game. He had like 25 fantasy points at halftime, but then he got injured right before halftime, didn't return. But that was a really tough matchup for Randle, going up against Evan Mobley, going up against Jared Allen. Both of those guys are really good defenders. Now, this Miami team is not bad defensively by any means, but I think this is a slightly better matchup for Randle against Miami than it was against Cleveland. And what really stands out is that Randle got back up to 38 minutes last game, and that's what I really like to see. The minutes were there, the production was there, and again, we've been seeing Randle dealing with injuries a lot this season, especially in the playoffs. He's been banged up a lot. Minutes have kind of not been super high for him, especially in that Cleveland series. There was a couple games like he wasn't even playing in the fourth quarter. He played 33 minutes in game 1, then he played 33 minutes. Like they were kind of keeping him in the low 30s minutes. The fact that he got back up to 38 minutes last game makes me assume he's fully healthy here. And the Heat and Knicks haven't played since May the 2nd. Like the last time they played, which was I think Tuesday of last week. It's been like 4 days. They've had a ton of time off. They've been able to rest up for this game. So I'm expecting we're gonna get like 38 to 40 minutes here from Julius Randle. And Julius Randle this season has been a really good per minute producer. He's averaged 1.22 fantasy points per minute on the regular season. All the time they played during the regular season, Julius Randle was actually a better per minute producer than Jalen Brunson was. Now I know Jalen Brunson's been playing really well lately. He deserves to have a high projection because of how well he's played. But I feel like Randall and Brunson should be projected very similarly. Like I feel like Randall's line should be 39, 39 and a half. I definitely think 37 and a half is a little bit too low here, especially if we expect him to play 38, 39, 40 minutes again. And given he played 38 minutes last game, given this is a big game, series tied 1-1, I'm expecting big minutes for Randall here once again. And I think this fantasy score line is a little bit too low for him. So that is the first play that I do like for today. And did want to mention that over his last 16 games where he's played at least 36 minutes, I did look this up. Over his last 16 games where he's played at least 36 minutes, including the last game against Miami, Julius Randle's over this fantasy score line in 15 out of his last 16 games playing at least 36 minutes. There was only one game against Denver. He played 36 minutes, had just 34.4 fantasy points, but every other game, 48.4, 59.3, 44.5, 43.8, 56, 40, 43, 49. He's gone over this line in a large majority of his games this season playing full minutes. So again, that's why I like this play. I feel like this line's a little bit too low for Julius Randle. So that's the first play I do like. And then the other play that I like, looking at the Lakers and Warriors game, I want to talk about Anthony Davis's points prop. So AD's points prop, it sits at 24.5. And you guys know, especially if you've been playing any overs on Anthony Davis so far in the postseason, this dude has been a roller coaster in the postseason. He's had a big game, they don't have a bad game. They don't have a big game, they don't have a bad game. I wanted to pull up his game log just so far in the playoffs. I'm sure you guys have looked at it, but if you look at AD's game log in the playoffs this season, it's pretty crazy. So game 1 of the Memphis series, he had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 7 blocks, just good all-around game. Didn't go over this points prop, but a really good game. Then in game 2, he had just 13 points, 9 rebounds, pretty bad game. Game 3, bounce back against Memphis, 31 points, 17 rebounds. Game 4, bad game, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Had a bad game, but then he bounced back with a big game, 31 points, 19 rebounds. Had a great game, then he had another stinker, 16 points, 14 rebounds. After that stinker, 16 points, 14 rebounds, he bounced back with a big game, 30 points, 23 rebounds. And then last game was obviously horrible for AD. He had just 11 points and 7 rebounds. The Lakers got blown out. I would expect AD to bounce back here. The Lakers are going back home. They've been great at home so far in the postseason. They haven't lost a playoff game at home yet. I think the Lakers probably win this game tonight. I could see them winning both these home games, and if they do win both these home games, they'll have a pretty good chance of winning this series. But they're going to need AD to be aggressive, to be dominant like he was in the first game of this series when he had 30 points. The minutes are going to be through the roof. We know that. AD's going to play probably 40 minutes here if the game's competitive. In game 1 of this series, I'm pretty sure AD played the entire second half in game 1. He played 44 minutes in that game. I don't remember him subbing out. I don't remember seeing him sub out the entire second half. So minutes are going to be through the roof here for AD as long as this game stays competitive. You would expect with the Lakers going back home, they'll play much better here at home. This game will be close. And I'm just going to ride the trend. I know that sounds stupid, but it seems like every time AD has a bad game, he just bounces back with a big game the next game. And I feel like 24.5 points, him getting 25 points is something he can definitely do here. We know AD's a very good offensive player. I think this is a matchup that he can have success in. We did see the Warriors actually move Kevon Looney to the bench last game. It worked out well for them because they beat the crap out of the Lakers, so maybe they continue to do that. Maybe they continue to just start Draymond at center. And while Draymond is a good defender, he's also pretty undersized compared to Anthony Davis, so I feel like AD should be able to have his way in this matchup. And I would think he's going to bounce back here after having a really bad game in game 2 of this series. So far in the playoffs, he's bounced back after pretty much every bad game he's had. So this is what I like as our second play for today. Anthony Davis, more than 24.5 points. And these are the 2 picks I do like for this Saturday slate, guys. Kind of taking a first look at the board right now on Saturday morning. But I'm going to be sharing a few more plays for today over on Patreon. Going to take a look at the NBA board, see if I can find anything else I like. We're still waiting for some fantasy score props to be added for the Lakers game, so I'm going to have to take a look at those once they get added. But I'll be sharing probably a few more NBA plays, maybe 1 or 2 more NBA plays. Also have a few MLB plays that I'll give out on Patreon as well. So if you guys do enjoy these YouTube videos, if you've been winning money off these YouTube picks and you want more Prizepicks plays from me, I do share those over on Patreon. You can check that out, linked down below in the description. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Appreciate you watching. Make sure you hit that like button down below. If you guys did enjoy, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Be sure to check out Prizepicks as well. If you're not signed up for Prizepicks yet, you can sign up and use my promo code NOAH. When you do sign up, you will get your first deposit matched up to $100. So be sure to check them out if you have not yet, and use that promo code when you sign up. But that's all that I got for tonight, guys. Wish you the best of luck on this Saturday slate. Hope you guys enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.